Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Politics NY. Meet the candidates in 2022. I'm Jane Hanson, and I do 3 questions in 3 minutes. And today I'm talking with Philip Grant, who is a lawyer by trade, 36 years as a lawyer, and now he is running for a seat as a Kings County Civil Court judge. So, Mr. Grant, tell us, why is it that you're wanting to give up your legal practice and become a judge?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Thank you. It's certainly not because I always wanted to be a judge. And in fact, the first time someone asked me whether I would consider doing this, I said, why would I do that? And they said, it's a good job. And I said, well, I got a good job, but it pays more. So the reason this has nothing to do with it's actually a process of development where I decided to commit myself not so much to being a judge, but to public service. So I've been an assistant attorney general. I've worked in all 3 branches of government, all 3 levels of government: federal, state, local branches, executive, judicial, and legislative. And I think everyone who is committed to public service has an obligation to go as far as they can. This is an opportunity that revealed itself to me, so I'm going to just try my best to make it happen.
It's a long-term commitment because the terms are 10 years. And obviously you're not like other politicians making laws, but you can make a difference in the way you interpret the law and in some of the judgments that you make. So how do you approach that?
So I can't think of who it was who first said it, but there's a difference between blind justice, we sometimes throw around the term blind justice, and equal or fair justice. So I would plan to be someone who is not blind to circumstances, and that's a product partially of your background. Of course, you have to be careful of intrinsic bias, but we need a more diverse judiciary. There have been only 3 Black male judges, I'm told, in the last 20 years or so, who were elevated to the civil court or Supreme Court. And I worked for one of them for 8 years. He passed away, Judge Johnny Baines. I'm working for another one who's getting ready to retire, Judge Larry Martin, which would leave only one. So I certainly would like to bring my perspective as an African-American male. I grew up in, I don't have 2 minutes, but I grew up in part of South Jamaica, Queens, which had the highest gang population in the city at the time, in the 70s when I grew up. And I myself got into trouble before becoming committed to the practice of law. I was the first person from my high school, public high school, to ever be admitted into Amherst College. When I went on to Georgetown Law School, I was the first African-American to become one of the editors of the Tax Law Journal. And so I bring my perspective, my unique perspective, to hopefully fair and equal justice as opposed to blind justice.
Well, I think you already answered my last question in that statement, because I was going to say, tell us something about yourself that we don't know, and you just did. So thank you very much, and good luck on primary day. And thanks so much for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and I'll see all of you next time. For now, I'm Jane Hanson.